welcome back to Comic Beyond. In this episode, we continue our Alien and Predator Superheroes Crossing Over series we're doing over the summer. So in this episode, we're doing Batman vs. Aliens. So I must say, this is a pretty solid crossover. I enjoy it almost as much as I do the Batman vs. Predator, which will be coming soon. I was actually going to cover that one next, but it's so good I'm trying to wait and put it off a little bit. But we will get to it because it's one of my favorites. So in this story, a Wayne Enterprise scientist goes down to South America and then ends up goes missing. And being the awesome boss that Bruce Wayne is, Batman goes down to search for him. And while there, he ends up coming across some mercenaries because it's an alien story and it's a Predator type story, so you have to have the military team. So this is our Space Marines for this book, just like in Aliens, and we need cannon fodder. So he comes across them, and he comes across the woman that's with them, and they stumble upon a wrecked spacecraft, which is by a Mayan temple. Now this book predates the AVP movie, so the Mayan stuff and all that kind of stuff really came prior to that Alien vs. Predator movie. And a lot of fans of Aliens and stuff like that, and including myself, agree, keep aliens in space. I think they're more fun stories when they're just on other planets and they're not on Earth. So that's just my opinion, and I know there's other, alien fans that kind of share that view, but that's just me. But it kind of works in this story because it is isolated. But, so Batman and the mercenaries, he decides he's going to team up with them or whatever, and they go to this temple and search. Well, prior to doing that, and this was kind of a bizarre but awesome tidbit, so Batman fights a crocodile, a mercenary's about to shoot it, and he's like, no, you don't have to kill it, and he ends up wrestling it and tying it up or whatever and releasing it into the jungle. But that crocodile plays a part later on. So they go to this Mayan temple, and of course there they stumble upon the sacrificial chamber, which houses the alien eggs and face huggers and that kind of stuff. So in the story, one by one, the mercenaries are being picked off, this and that. And of course the girl that's with them, she's the character, just like in the Alien movies, that sees the alien species as a prize. So she's trying to take it to gain wealth and sell it to the government or the highest bidder. She gets her comeuppance because that gator I told you that plays a part, he actually comes across a face hugger, and we get an alien / crocodile hybrid. So it looks really awesome. And it's one of my favorite parts of the book. So she ends up getting taken out by that. Batman survives. He actually ends up, and it happens earlier in the book before the end of the story. But Batman ends up taking a face hugger, a dead one, with him. So by the end of the story, he finds out what happened and that the scientist was killed and this and that. But he ends up going back to, the Batcave after the incidents. And he's studying the face hugger and all that kind of stuff in the Batcave. And he's telling himself, he's like, just like she was wanting to do, the government or whoever would make this into a weapon. So there can be no evidence that these things exist, because if they fall in the wrong hands, that would just be another problem for me or somebody else. So he literally goes to the deepest part of the cave into a cavern or whatever and just tosses it to the side, destroying the evidence of what happened. And that's how the book ends. Like I said, it's a solid crossover. I really enjoy it, and the art's phenomenal. They did do another one. Not sure if I'm going to cover that one or not. Maybe down the road I will. But I enjoyed it. You can get it on Comixology, Amazon. They did Dark Horse and DC did reprint them. I think they're both collected in a trade. So if you can, I would check this out. It's a very fun crossover. And like I said, I don't like giving a lot away, so there is other detail into the story that you might find intriguing, characters and stuff like that. But it was a good crossover. Highly recommend it if you're a Batman or an Aliens fan, or you just love a good, crazy crossover story. Definitely recommend it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.